Hey guys, I'm Alex. I'm a software engineer at the National Energy Technology Laboratory. I just graduated this May, and yeah, I'm gonna answer some questions for you guys. What does your typical day look like? So I work remote, so my day starts off with I wake up, take a shower, brush my teeth, get some breakfast, cook some bacon, some eggs, stuff like that. And then right after that, I get right to coding. So from like 9 a.m. to about 1 p.m. I'm coding, about 4 hours straight. I take about an hour for lunch, and then right after that I work about till 6 p.m. And I'm just coding again. So yeah, a lot of coding. How do you deal with and conquer imposter syndrome? So that's a tricky question. Let me think about that one, because I feel like I still have that, and I'm like working every day. So that's how I deal with it. I kind of just realized that mostly everyone else is going to have that same feeling as you. Not everyone's going to know exactly what they're doing. Everyone's going to always be asking for help. So I think overcoming that would just be accepting what you don't know and being comfortable not knowing everything, right? Because no one's going to know everything. Especially in software engineering or any CS discipline, you're always going to be learning stuff every day. So just getting over it is just being comfortable, like not knowing everything. Yeah. What advice would you give to your freshman self? Okay. So my freshman self, I would definitely tell him to take school a lot more seriously. My freshman year, I was going to like bars and like clubs every weekend, not really studying, just kind of going to classes and going through the motions. So to my freshman self, I would say start LeetCoding like day one. Start building projects if you can, and start really building your resume. Like reach out to professors, do research. I got my first internship just by doing research and having that on my resume. So definitely just LeetCode, research, and don't go out every weekend. So my favorite AI tool, so like ChatGPT, Grok, of course, those are like standard. Cloud Code, that's another good one. It's kind of pricey, but it's really useful when you're coding. And one I'm using right now, it's called Supabase. It's not really an AI tool, it's like a backend as a service tool, but it uses AI to code everything for you. So you really just like, it's PostgreSQL, so you define your tables, you set like a list of rules in like a JSON file, and that's it. And the AI handles the rest, so Supabase, definitely check that out. So my go-to breakfast, what I had this morning, just bacon, eggs, and then some toast, and then a glass of milk, and then some coffee. That's pretty much it. Pineapple on pizza, yeah or nay? It depends, If it's like just pineapple and cheese, I mean, sure. But if you have like, onions and pepperoni and stuff, like maybe no pineapple. So it really depends. But usually I'll say yeah. I'll say yeah. My favorite artist, musical artist, probably the Beatles. I've listened to them a lot lately. As far as painting artists, probably Claude Monet, just because he's the only name I remember from my art history class. So yeah. Thoughts on DeepSeek? I like DeepSeek. I think it's really good that there is competition to OpenAI and all of these like high-cost AI models. I think DeepSeek is definitely going to change the way like AI is modeled, like price model. Right now it's pay as you go. So every API call you make, it's like $1 or something, right? And if you're making thousands of API calls, it's going to cost a lot. But DeepSeek, it's pretty much free. It's open source, right? So I think open source is free is definitely the way to go, just for software development in general. So yeah. Not a question, you're amazing. Thank you. Who wrote that? I must have been doing that or something. Okay, how can I save money? So I use this app called Rocket Money. It's not an ad at all, no sponsor. I just use it because I saw ads for it. And it's pretty useful. It's like $2 a month subscription. And you can budget everything that you do. If you link it to your bank account, it tells you what you're spending and how to budget it accordingly. So yeah, definitely a budgeting app, and just not spending money. Like my biggest thing is eating out. I was spending like $30, $40 a day just eating out, right? And when I started cooking at home, that turned into like just $60, $70 a week just cooking. So yeah, don't eat out. Time management advice, please. So that's a tricky question. It's definitely different for everyone. Like I have friends who do like that Pomodoro technique, like, like the 15 minutes, 5-minute rest or whatever. I have other friends who just don't time manage at all, just kind of freestyle it and they do well. Me personally, I try to just make sure I stick to a schedule. So like I said, like from like 9 to 1, I'm coding consistently, right? So I just try to make sure like I block my time efficiently. And I hide my phone from myself. I don't look at my phone. And I just make sure I'm really focused, just hyper focused on whatever you're doing. That works for me personally. And also like flow state, if I'm really into something, I might extend like my coding session by like an hour or two, just so that I can finish my thoughts and finish what I'm doing. But yeah, just time blocks and like ruthlessly just make sure you're focused. No TikTok, no Instagram, nothing like that. Should I learn React? It's not should I learn React, it's when should you learn React. It's pretty much everyone in software engineering should probably know React at this point. Even if you're not coding the front end, you're gonna have to be debugging stuff from the front end on the back end, and all that stuff is getting sent from React to your back end via like an API or whatever. So yeah, everyone should know React. And also you should probably learn TypeScript too. Okay, what do I do at my company? So at my company, I'm a software engineer, and I'm in a really unique position because I'm the only software engineer on my team. We have other teams at the lab that do like AI, they do data science and stuff like that, but I'm the only one actually building web apps. So I have a lot of leeway to choose the tech stack I use. So I'm in a lot of Discord groups for my old jobs, so I ask them for advice a lot for my tech stack. But yeah, mainly what I do all day is just coding the front end, coding the back end, and just doing full stack application development. So it's pretty cool. A lot of times I'm kind of just Googling stuff most of the time, and then I'm coding a lot of the other time too. So yeah. Embarrassing workplace moment. So I work from home, so it's kind of hard to get embarrassed when you're not really in office. I guess the most embarrassing moment I've had was when I was in a meeting and I had myself muted and I was trying to ask questions and no one's listening, and it's because I'm muted. So yeah, it's the most embarrassing moment. Most memorable workplace moment. I think that's upcoming. So next month I'm actually taking a flight out to the lab. It is in Morgantown, West Virginia. So I'll be flying out there for 2 weeks and just meeting everyone. So I'm really looking forward to that. Do I like my boss? I really like my boss. She's awesome. She has a PhD in mechanical engineering. She's very smart, very intelligent. She's not really a software engineer per se, but she links me with other people in the lab that are software engineers and do know how to code. So she's just really nice to me. She's very supportive. She understands that, software engineering and coding in general, you're always learning new stuff on the job, right? So she's very understanding with that. There's no like hard timelines. There's no hard like milestones I have to achieve, which is a lot different from my old boss at Amazon, which is like, every week you had to be doing something. You had to contribute every day. We had daily stand-ups. So yeah, going from that to this is like, it's really nice. It's really relaxing. I love my boss. What difficulty LeetCode questions will there be? Are there specific, are the questions of specific topics? If so, what are they? So I'm guessing this is like for interviews, what difficulty? So as far as difficulty goes, it's going to be kind of hit or miss depending on the company. So if you're in FANG, like you're in Meta, they're going to ask you a bunch of medium questions, probably hard questions, mostly medium. If it's like a smaller company, it might not even be LeetCode. Like I've been asked weird questions like debug our code database, right? And there'll be like lines that are misplaced or something misspelled, and you just have to debug a massive like thousands of lines of like C or JavaScript or Python or whatever. So whatever's on your resume, they're gonna ask you about. So just make sure whatever languages you list, you actually know how to use them, because they're probably gonna ask you to code in that language. But yeah, if you're going for FANG, I know for a fact Meta will ask you a lot of medium questions. And you have to already know how to solve them. And like, yeah, it's kind of unfair, but the bar is just so high, you just have to already know how to solve these problems. One of my friends, he just did his 3 rounds at Meta, and it was 45 minutes, and he had 45 minutes to do 2 LeetCode mediums, which is like pretty insane, right? So definitely study up on mediums. If you're doing a big company like Meta or Google, go to LeetCode and look at the tagged questions for that company. Study them, memorize them as much as you can, and yeah, just do a bunch of mediums and a bunch of hards. I wouldn't really waste my time on easies, because if you do mediums and hards from scratch, then easy should be pretty straightforward to get the logic from. And also, like before you do LeetCode, definitely take a data structures and algorithms course, or at the very least Google what you're doing as you're doing it so you understand the structures that you're using. Okay, as current college students, we often hear that the job market is super hard to break into once graduating. How were you able to make connections? It cuts off there, but I kind of get the idea of the question. Okay, so how I broke into it was just by having a really good GPA and doing really good in my classes. Doing research at the University of Houston, Maine is what got me my first internship. And by getting that research position, how I got that was actually by attending events here at the college. They did like a seminar that they were doing an LRU for local colleges that were accepting students from UHD to do research opportunities at different campuses. So I applied for that. My GPA was pretty strong, and I got pretty good recommendations from my professors because I did pretty well in their classes, so they gave me those recommendations. And yeah, I got into those research opportunities by just having good grades. So yeah, and by doing those research opportunities, I put that on my resume. And that opportunity directly is what my recruiter said stood out, and that's how I got those interviews. So yeah, just have good grades, network, take advantage of every opportunity that you have, and yeah, just a lot of luck. Okay, my questions for front-end developers. So I'm full stack, so I'm good at front-end. I'm not a pro, but I'll do my best to answer these. So what were ways you practiced for technical interviews? So I don't really get questions for front-end development. Like, yeah, they might ask you like, what is a webhook in React, or like, what is useState in React? But technically it's going to be, from my experience, a lot of LeetCode and a lot of debugging on the back end. So if you're a strong back-end developer, you should do pretty well in most interviews. I haven't had like a straight up like front-end specific like HTML, CSS, React interview. But like I said, if you're pretty good at the back end and LeetCode, you can teach yourself that stuff pretty quickly. Okay, what do I have to know to become a front-end developer as a computer science student, since they really don't focus on front-end in school? So they do have one class I know that does web development. I haven't taken it, so I'm not sure, but I imagine that they teach you some front-end development. But if you're able to get a computer science degree and you know C++, you know Python, then front-end is pretty straightforward to teach yourself. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's pretty, like, you should be able to do it if you know how to code in any language. So definitely start with HTML, then move to CSS. That should take you maybe like a month to get, pretty good at. And then after that, a few months on JavaScript, 2 or 3 months on that. JavaScript is really the only language you can use on the front end, so you're going to have to know it. But yeah, I'd say within like 3 or 4 months, you should be able to be proficient enough to build apps by yourself. And if you're using AI, you can probably do it within like a few weeks. So just teach yourself. This website I use, the Odin project, that's how I taught myself. It's very like detailed and thorough. It might take you longer than a few months, but if you can do that, you'll be pretty good at doing it on your own. What kind of projects do you recommend to stand out as a front-end developer? So probably building a website, building a portfolio. Using React in your front end is definitely like mandatory, and also learning TypeScript. So yeah, just building like a portfolio, maybe like a map, something that uses Google Maps or geospatial data. That's really impressive to a lot of people. Do you need to have design skills to be a front-end developer? No, you don't really need to have design skills. What I mainly use for my designs is I'll use like AI image generation tools. I'll tell it kind of what I want and it will generate the image for me, and I'll just code based off that. Or you can just have friends that are, good at design. If you have friends that are in art, friends that are in graphic design, you can ask them. So no, you don't have to be a good designer to do front end. Do you need a portfolio as a front-end developer? Yes, you do, because front-end by nature is, visual. It's stuff that people look at. So if you don't have something that people can look at to show that you actually know how to make a front-end, they're probably not going to hire you. So if you are a front-end developer, making a portfolio should be pretty straightforward, right? So yeah, you definitely need a portfolio. Okay. So what are ways that you practice for the technical interview? Is there even a technical interview? So pretty much for all of FANG, you're going to be doing some sort of web development, right? So for Amazon, I was a hardware engineer, but I was still having to work with web and with the front end. In my current job, I do full stack development. Some of it's on the web, some of it's proprietary on the desktop. But yeah, there's always going to be a technical interview. There's always going to be LeetCode. As of today, July 30th, 2025, there's going to be LeetCode in every interview. So yeah, just grind LeetCode, grind DSA, and just grind like basic like web development principles, like how do you connect the front end to the back end? How do you create an API? How do you make an API call? What is a GET request? What is a POST request? Just stuff like that. It's not really hard. It's honestly all pretty easy. There's just so much content that it's going to take a lot of time to learn it all, but each individual piece is pretty straightforward and it's not very hard. Is there a market for salaried web developers? Is it mostly contracted and freelance work? So I'm currently a salaried web developer, so yes, I would say there's a market for it. I work at a national lab, so that's for government, which is a little tricky, right? If you're international, it might be tricky to get those jobs, but I do have coworkers that are contracted international that can get those jobs. And as for FANG, yeah, it's all salaried. Every FANG position is salaried, and the majority of it is going to be web development. There's going to be a small percentage. You'll be doing machine learning. You might be doing hardware, stuff like that, but that's all very niche, and it's not the norm. I'd say like 90% of my coworkers are doing some sort of web development or some sort of application development. So yeah, there's definitely a market for it. Are website building sites and software like Wix affecting the market demand for web developers? Not really, because if you're building a website using Wix, or if you're using like one of those other websites that just build a site for you, you still need someone that can debug those websites and can actually add custom functionality that those apps don't have for you. So like Wix, you work within the Wix like set of tools. And if you want like a custom thing that Wix doesn't offer, you're gonna have to know how to code to use that, right? And that's when you need a web developer or someone that actually knows how to code to do that. What's WordPress, right? That's another one. So WordPress is another one. So my job, a lot of people use WordPress actually to make the skeleton of the site. And then they'll actually code custom logic on top of a WordPress site. So they're not like, you're not competing with Wix developers, you're not competing with WordPress developers, you're competing with other software engineers that use those tools to help them. So no, I don't think they're not really affecting the market demand at all. What kind of projects do you recommend to stand out as a web developer? So I think everyone does to-do list, right? So Scott, don't even put that on your resume. That's useless. Definitely use stuff like that to learn, but when you're building a resume, just do stuff that you find interesting. Like build something that you find no one else has done, or even if they've done it, just build a better version of that, right? Like one of my friends, how he got his internship, he built like a website that compares Pokemon cards. And the tech stack's pretty simple. It's just React and then Firebase on the back end. But he put a lot of passion into the project, and the front end looks really nice and it looks really cool. And just by doing that, he was able to get an internship at Amazon. So just make something that you're passionate about. It doesn't have to be like groundbreaking, different, but just put a lot of love into it. Make sure that it works pretty well. It has cool functionality. And yeah, just do stuff that you like. Do you recommend a flashy website as a portfolio or a regular one? Kind of a mix of both. So you don't want it so flashy, like to where the animations are taking up the whole screen and you can't really read what's going on, but you definitely don't want like a static, just like plain text, so you want a mixture of both. It needs to be eye-catching, it needs to pop out, but you don't want to like overload it with animation, right? So I mean, just like using React and JavaScript, you should be able to make it as like reactive, as like animated as you want it to be. So try to strike a balance of like, letting them know what you've done and making it easy to navigate, but also make it interesting to look at. You want to keep it interesting to people actually look and scroll at your projects. Is it true that having a blog can increase job prospects? Well, it can increase it or it can decrease it depending on what you post on that blog. I don't have a blog, so I'm not really the best person to ask on this, but if there's like this YouTuber called TechLead, he has his YouTube channel, and he got fired from Meta because he had that YouTube channel. So, it could hurt, but it could also help. So just be careful what you post on there. Are there any certificates, COMPTIA Plus, for example, that can help make us more desirable to employers or have a greater chance of being hired? So yeah, there's definitely certificates. So all the cloud certifications, mainly like AWS, Azure, and GCP, definitely those certificates help a lot. I just got my AWS developer certificate recently, the associate one. So they definitely help a lot. The GCP ones help a lot. As far as CompTIA Plus goes, I know a lot of my friends that have those and they've helped them. I haven't personally gotten them, but they definitely do help. So yeah, certificates definitely help. Just make sure they're like official ones, or like the AWS ones or the CompTIA Plus. If you get like a random Coursera certificate or like one of these online programs that don't have like a lot of weight, you can put them on. They're not really going to help a lot, but they, if they help you learn, then they help you learn, but they're not going to really give your resume a lot of weight. But yeah, definitely cloud ones, CompTIA Plus help a lot. And yeah. If I wanted to be a web or application developer, what projects would stand out to employers? Thank you. So like I said, definitely have a portfolio. Definitely have interesting projects that you find like interesting to yourself. Don't just make a project because everyone else is making it, right? Like don't just make like a to-do list because everyone else is making it. Don't just make like those Hawk2 apps or whatever, the meme apps. Don't just make those because they're memey, right? Like make something you find interesting. If it's like funny, you can make it funny, right? But make sure it's authentic to you. Because if it's like fake or if you're not really interested, they're gonna tell on the interviews, like people can sense that. So just make sure it's something you actually like and something you enjoy. And it doesn't have to be groundbreaking, just like make it cool, people like that. Okay. I mean, a project that I did that was interesting, I built like a robotic arm, so with like an Arduino board, and this is all in C. So it comes with logic, but I built like custom logic to make the arm move a certain way. So, stuff like that, just something you're interested in. And that's not even web dev, but I did that and I got a web dev job, so just make it interesting. You got a $5,000 bonus. What are you doing with it? I'm probably saving it, and I'm also paying off my credit card debt. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with $5,000. Do you consider your career to be stable, especially in the face of recent massive outsourcing and offshoring efforts? So yeah, software engineering in general is not stable at all. No job is safe at all at the moment. Even my job, government with Doge and what Trump is doing, is not stable. So to counteract that, you should always be like, have your resume sharp, always be lead coding, always make sure your interviewing skills are on point, and always be upskilling yourself constantly so that, if or when you do get laid off, you're ready to transition to the next job and you should be good. But yeah, it's not secure. Nothing is really stable right now, so just make sure if you're going into this field that you're okay with potentially getting fired constantly and always having to job hop. Sorry if that's not like positive, but it's just the truth. So. Okay, so AI girlfriends. So yeah, I actually have like 10 of those right now. I'm pretty depressed, so they're my only friends because I work from home. And yeah, okay, no. But seriously, I have a friend who's making an AI girlfriend app right now. And he has like 10 subscribers and he's making like $30-40 a month off this AI girlfriend app. So I know it's a joke question, but yeah, there's serious money in these AI girlfriend or like AI friend apps. And they're not very hard to make. He just used, he made a wrapper for OpenAI. So it's just like a bunch of API calls to OpenAI. And he just gave it like a certain prompt, like act like a loving girlfriend or something cringe like that. And it works and people seem to really like it. So yeah, he's probably gonna make a lot of money off it. So yeah, AI girlfriends. Okay, how much have I spent on AI subscriptions? So like the honest answer is I'm probably spending like $250 a month on AI subscriptions. So GPT Plus, Cloud Code, and Cursor. Yeah, just those three is a lot of money. So that's why I like DeepSeek, because they're gonna make it all go down in the cost. So yeah. Hey guys, thanks for listening. Smash that like button. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yeah, don't hit me up. Peace out. You deal with and conquer imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. What advice? You spelled advice wrong. Oh, I need a break. I feel like I'm just talking. I usually don't talk this long. My questions for web development. Oh my god, there's so many. Focus. I think I already answered this one. It's just so like awkward. I'm just like talking.
You're very good at this.